Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? So we've got our final match. This is the top cut, top 8 players playing it out for, their position in this case tournament. And we got a matchup against my man Jay here, and he is crushing it today with the Katakuri. Went 4-1 also. So both of us 4-1, trying to make it to top 8. And he's a homie, so I'm just showing what I had for my hand, and just giving some details so that I can look over this game and have a better understanding. But yeah, this turns out to be some two solid matches. I think that as I mentioned in the previous Katakuri matchups, that the red versus yellow is honestly pretty good. I think that it turns out to be a pretty fun match, and I don't know, that's just me personally. I know not everybody will agree with that, but it is what it is. And now I play Makino here. I I play Makino because I'm like, okay, the only thing that yellow can use to get rid of Makino is Strusen. And I was like, I feel pretty confident that the Makino will stay. This will put me up a Dawn the next turn, and then I can get some swings in with Izo. And yeah, he hits me with some disrespect right here. Some absolutely disrespectful jargon. Swing 7 at life. He does leave card at top. I do choose to take, and then he rests and plays Strusen, KOing my Makino. And I'm just laughing because I was like, that's the only card that could have killed it. No way. So I was a little sad. But it is what it is. We're still okay. We got the Izo. Up to 4 Dawn, I was just trying to save some because, in this matchup, with red, I didn't pick up a ton of searchers. I do have my Marco. It looks like I have some of my big drops and 2K counters, but not a lot of the, searching cards early on, unfortunately. But I play the Marco because, yet again, the only thing I can think of, I'm like, okay, what gets rid of Marco? That would be Thunderbolt, right? And I feel pretty confident that I will go down to a reasonable point of 2 life before the Marco even becomes online. I also could just swing with the Marco because at this point I'm not too concerned about having the card, and he does Thunderbolt it. So literally this game is just going so poorly as to how I planned it. And I used that on Daifuku and 5 cost Marco it. It was like everything that you didn't want to happen against yellow was happening. And yeah, I had this whole master plan of like, okay, I play yellow, so like I know that, the odds of him getting these cards or using these cards are pretty low. And there we go. Yep. So, such is life. But the Strusen KO on the Makino didn't make me feel that bad, if I'm being honest with you, because he's basically got to play a 2K counter and then trash a trigger card in order to just kill my little 1-cost Makino, so I'm okay with a 2-card trade for the 1, but the Marco does hurt a little bit. That stung, I'm not going to lie. But we will counter out with Jozu when he swings for 5 using Pudding, and I think he swings 8 here. And I will take this, going down to that sweet 2 life spot, but unfortunately, no Marco this time. But I think we're up to 7 Dawn now, if I'm not mistaken, or no, 8. I chose to go second. That's right, because I wanted my opponent to play off curve. And I do have quite a bit of event cards, or no, I guess it was only 1, excuse me. I saw the Otamas, and I think I thought those were guard points for a moment. But we will play 1 and get the Izo out, hoping to find something good, but sadly we bottom deck and brick on the search. So this game has definitely not been in my favor. We're trying to think about how I can get the most value out of the cards I have on board, but simultaneously, what can I do? So I got Buggy coming down, and I don't know. Did we brick this one too? Oh no, we do find a Whitebeard Pirates. Okay, whew. I was about to cry a little bit, and yeah, I think we still got 6 Dawn, so I could slap one underneath lead, you know, go for the pudding, but I just want to continuously go for the searches, see if I can find something that I need. Looks like we're gonna we have some choices to make. We got 2 9-drops, a 5-drop, and a Jozu. I could decide to go for the Jozu with the 2k counter and be pretty aggressive and swing for life, but I do pick up the Marco just because I know that Sanji is pretty annoying. Not really trying to deal with all that. And yeah, I'll just go 5 at life here. This will force out a counter because he knows I'll swing 6 with Marco. And if he doesn't counter that, then yeah, we got him down to 2 life, which is feeling not bad. He does take the trigger and decide to use it. So he uses Ikaku's Sovereignty, trashes a 10-drop and a 4-drop Cracker, adds a life back to go back to 3. And I'll just play the Marco, pop the Sanji, call it a day, pass the turnover. I'm feeling a little bit better now, though, because we got a bunch of searches out. We were able to hit most of them. And so it replenishes the hand, but also builds our board so that next turn, it puts my opponent in an awkward position if he wants to 7-drop right now. Because if he does 7-drop, you know, now that he's just swung once with Strusen as well, makes me feel like I could save this Izo and just be really aggressive towards life next turn, which I do, yeah. So I choose to go up to a certain amount, and he bottom decks my Marco, unfortunately, right there. But I'm not too upset about it. He's got the 8-drop. Yeah, he gave me a life, essentially, which can be really inconvenient. Yellow can, with yellow, or excuse me, with that secret Katakuri, can really manipulate the life to where it's super inconvenient for you having Marco on field like the blocker. And I will go 5 here at life. He does choose to take, and pretty good trigger yet again. Picks up some cards. Doesn't look like he picked up too much counter cards, though. He picked up a Ikaku Sovereignty, so he's going to hold on to that and then trash the Thunderbolt and Perospero. Now, Ikaku Sovereignty could come in clutch, but I'll go 5 again with the Buggy. He does counter out with Daifuku. I'll go 6 here, and we do end up getting a life off of him. No trigger this time. I'll go 7 again at life. He's considering whether he's going to be countering out or potentially trashing, but he does counter out with the Pudding and Daifuku. Bringing him down to 2 cards in hand, though, I feel pretty good about it. So we get the Gordon on the board as well as the Marco. Yet again, only way he's going to be able to KO Gordon is Strusen, and he can't really afford to do that with, you know, like 2-3 cards in hand. So I feel that putting that down right there is going to be super useful for the next turn. It makes KOing the Katakuri pretty easy. And yeah, he's going to swing 2 at my Izo, and I'm just kind of considering whether I want to counter out or not, because at the end of the day, he is probably, if he's doing this with Shirahoshi, he's probably going to swing with Strusen again at Izo or Buggy and just try and get rid of them for cheap. And I do have the counters in hand with the life advantage at the moment. As long as I maintain board state, I really don't see a way that he's going to be able to, take it out on me. But I will 2k counter with the Otama to save the Buggy here. It forces my opponent now to swing with leader if he wants to KO Buggy, or he's gonna have to go at the Marco. He looks at his life, and I'm not sure whether he attacked the Buggy or not. Okay, he did. Yeah. So he went at the Buggy, and then he went at life with 8-drop, leaving up 2 for Ikaku's Sovereignty. But I still think with the swings that we have, we're looking pretty solid here. We are looking pretty solid, so we can just swing 7 multiple times, and yeah, we should have the win. But it's that 8-drop Katakuri that, the turn after could be scary, but since he doesn't have another, medium-sized character on the board, I genuinely feel like I have nothing to be afraid of next turn. I'm just going to swing with Gordon. I think I swing just for 5 here. It looks like I just swung for 5. Yeah, he does get counter out with the 2k counter. Now I know I should have game, because if he has Ikaku Sovereignty in hand, I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. 7. I'll just swing 7 again with Marco or something like that, and then put the rest. Oh, well, I just decided to throw the rest under leader, because if he does counter out with Ikaku, and he could, use Sanji. He doesn't quite get there, but I would still have the Marco swing right after to, you know, clean it up at the very end. But game 1 goes to me, and we are, you know, since we're in the top cut, it is a best of 3. We're just going to hop straight into the next match right here. It's going to have a little cut, and bam, there we go. Game 2. We just shuffled it up, just looking over, you know, looking over his cards and everything. I believe that, you know, since he lost, he chose to go second this time. And I was like, okay, perfect. So now I'm first, which I don't really particularly mind going first or second as Zoro. Optimally, I'd like to go first if I'm playing against red. Well, actually, if it's against Whitebeard, I'd maybe choose second. But yeah, I definitely don't mind either way going first or second against yellow. I would prefer to go second just to put them off their, you know, usual curve. But my opponent Jay here does mulligan. I am keeping my cards. I found some great searchers, so I'm super happy with what we ended up picking up. And I told him, I was like, I hope I gave you the cut of the gods, you know? Hopefully gave him some good cards, but we'll see, we'll see. And as you can see, it looks like I have like a Curly de Dawn, a Guard Point, a Makino, a Buggy, and an Izo right there. And he shows he's got 2 crackers, 10 drop, as well as I think it was a pudding and something else. I didn't see what the other card was. But yeah, we do pick up the 5-drop Marco off the first search, so super happy about that. Always love to see the card. And if I can pick up Gordon as well, I'm just throwing the card down. If I can pick up Gordon as well, definitely feels good to have in combination with Marco and going into taking out, you know, my opponent's like 5-cost characters, as well as, you know, maybe even a 6k character. That's the convenience of that match, or that combo right there. It's so nice. And I know like a lot of Zoro decks that I've been looking at like don't even run the Gordon, or they'll run like a 2 of. I've been loving the card, truly. So I'm kind of thinking right here whether I want to take the Gordon though, or I take the it was Makino, I believe, but I choose to pick up Gordon just because I know that getting rid of Daifuku, Cracker, Perospero, something like that, so that I can maintain board is just so huge. But he knows that I have the combo in hand. I do pick up a Guard Point, so we take those. Yeah, he knows that I have the combo in hand, but honestly, what are you going to do? You kind of have to play into it. And so he goes up to 4 Dawn here. I know that 4 actually doesn't feel that good once I have a board like this. And that was my participation who's who that I just picked up right there. Not too shabby. They were going around and handing out the tournament packs. Yeah, but he is just going to go probably 5 at life here and play like Daifuku or Cracker or something like that. And yep, Daifuku, which, I mean, he's got to know is going to go with Gordon and oh, that's right, actually. I'm going to be at 5 Dawn. Ah, bummer. Bummer. I forgot about that. See, this is why you like to go second sometimes against red. Or yellow. Feels really good. I'm going to rest 1, though. Play Izo yet again. I mean, we've gotten everything we've wanted this game. It felt like this game was just going the right way for me. I kept finding the right searchers, drawing into the things I needed, searching out, you know, all the cards necessary for the end game. And we get another Curly de Dawn, and he was like, we're playing Searching Simulator right now. I was like, yep, that's basically what we're doing. It's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Zoro's busted. So I swing 5 with Buggy here, and he does hit Ikaku's Sovereignty. He chooses to use it. So he trashes a 10-drop and a Cracker and goes back up to 4 life. And I'll go 6 here. And he does get a Brûlée off trigger. Pretty dang good. Can't complain about that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I swung with Buggy for a very particular reason. It's because I know that Daifuku is Slash, and I'm just going to let this instance play out real fast.
Yeah. So we'll do effect, targeting lead. So look at my top. Yeah, all leave it on top.
Hey, by the way, hold on.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I played around this way. I don't want to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
This can't die to slash.
Okay.
If you were planning on attacking with Daifuku, he is slash.
Okay.
So I don't know if that changes where you want to attack.
I made the mistake. It's fine.
No, I really don't mind.
We're playing, man. It's good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
That's my thing I need to learn.
No, that's totally
Yeah, you're
fine.
good. So 7 at life.
Okay.
I was planning to attack him.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I really don't mind. If
You're
you
good,
want
man.
it. All right. Let's do bot. I'll take. You know, and Jay's a legend. He was like, you know what? No, I'd rather play it out because I made the mistake and I want to learn from the mistake, you know, and this is the best way to do that. So I totally respect that. And yeah, he says that he doesn't want to take it back. I was trying to be very respectful, though, because I know that it's a mechanic that not everybody's super familiar with. OP03 just came out. Shoot, I'm not even going to lie. The week before this tournament, I literally forgot about that mechanic. And that's, you know, when somebody pointed it out in one of my comments in one of the videos, that's where I learned from it. So that's why, you know, I was like, hey, man, I know that this is, you know, might be the route that you're going for, but I have no problem with you changing it up. But he wants to play it out, and I think that's super respectful. And, yeah, but I had to offer because otherwise I would have felt kind of bad, you know, just being like, hey, you know, this is why I played the round this way. At the end of the day, we're all homies, man, trying to learn and become better players at the game. And I think that me trying to take advantage of that without informing my opponent, you know, because this isn't like I wouldn't say it wasn't a serious tournament because it, you know, definitely kind of was. But it's not like a regional or a treasure cup or something like that where you're really playing for those, you know, big prizes and stuff. I think that here it was, I just want to make sure that we're all learning, we're having a good time. But you saw it right there. I did pick up the Ezo and trash it, put down Gordon, bottom deck that Gordon to KO the Cracker with Marco. Everything has gone my way this match. It has just been a very, very good match for me because it just seems like I can't miss on these searches, and I just am constantly getting the right cards. So I'm happy with the board state because now next turn, and I do choose to counter out of this because I knew that he was going to play 7-drop. Yep, and I would just trash. And unfortunately, I trashed a Radical Beam, which is, you know, not what you want to see, but it's okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not giving my opponent life. I'm trashing while I have such an advantageous position. And now I'm going to play the Whitebeard Pirates, pick up the blocker. So now I have 2 blockers, and I can just go full swing with the board. I don't even have to play a blocker. I can if I want to, but I have absolutely no need because I have 2 guard points. I guess maybe I might end up playing a blocker. I'm not really quite sure yet, but we'll see. I'll probably just swing a lot of 5s and then 6 with leader, 7 with Marco. He does get a Parasparrow, trashes the Thunderbolt to get it out on play. I'll go 5 with the Buggy here, and he trashes Daifuku countering out. I'll go 5 with Curly to Dawn. I know that this has got to be pretty inconvenient. He blocks with the Brûlée. I'll go 6 at life now. And he will take, and now I'll just go 7 with Marco. And I'm thinking that he might take this one as well. It's a tough call whether he's got the counter in hand or not. But yeah, at this point, I still did save for Dawn just in case that I want to play the blocker depending on what he does get out of life. So I do choose to play the blocker though because he did get that Parasparrow. Otherwise, I would have probably just went like, I don't know, probably just a little heavier with Marco and leader and then save the 2 for the guard points. But with Parasparrow coming down, I'm like, okay, I kind of got to think about this. How do I want to avoid potentially dying? He will go 5 with lead, or 5 with Parasparrow. I counter out with Otama. 5 with lead. I'll counter out with Jozu. And then I'm assuming he'll swing with Lin. I'll probably take, and then if he's trying to play 10-drop, I'll just let the last life go. He'll go up to 1, and then we should just have game with the swings that we have on the board. But, yeah, it could be close. I mean, he does have a lot of cards in hand at the moment. So 10 drop might be the play, but he'd have to have some pretty relative confidence in the amount of counters that he has. So he does go 8 here, and I'm not sure. He didn't point, so I'm thinking this was at life. I don't know. No, it was. So we bring back Marco, trashing our own Marco for it. And 10 drop Lin coming down. I trash the 5 drop Marco, but we pick up another Radical Beam, so I feel like we got it. I mean, there's no way for us to die now, right? We just have to swing 5 with everything. Maybe swing with blocker and the other Marco, just depending on how many cards he runs down to at the very end. So we'll go 5, he counters out. We'll go 5, counters out. 5. You know, it's just that's the name of the game. And then 2k counter. So it was first 1k, now a 2k. So I'm thinking that he's out of 1k counters. I start to swing for inconvenient numbers. We'll go 7 right here. We do have, I believe, 6 Dawn remaining. So we go 7. And with 6 Dawn remaining, we could just throw that under leader, go for 12. He doesn't have Ikaku's sovereignty, so he's really got to think about this. But I think either way, yeah, so he does counter out. I will go 7, because now he's going to be at 2 cards in hand. And then we just put the rest on Marco. And it was actually pretty close. He had 2k counters. I think we were able to swing 10k with that final Marco. So, you know, if he just had 1 more card in hand, could have been the game. But yeah, it was a wow, I can't believe that. My last life was Radical Beam as well. But a phenomenal 2 matches against my man Jay here. Absolutely love the games. And, you know, it's always great that, you know, you can just learn and play with the homies and have, you know, honestly just a fun time at your local shops and stuff like that. So big shout out to the Booster Box here in Virginia Beach for putting out this tournament for everybody. It was a phenomenal time. And yeah, let's see what we got in the opening of the boxes we won.